Every special needs parent, mom, knows that it's very important to advocate for your child. But what I've noticed is that there are a number of parents, a number of moms who feel like they're getting nowhere when they're advocating for their child. So, is advocating good or is it bad? When should you advocate and when shouldn't you? Are you even advocating correctly? So, let's talk about it. To advocate or not to advocate. So let's first start with a definition. Whenever I Googled it, the definition of advocate: any action that speaks in favor of, recommends, argues for a cause, supports, or defends or pleads on behalf of others. We know what the word advocate means. But I also feel like that's a really broad term. And whenever we're talking about our special needs child, we need to know what it means in order for it to work for our kid whenever we need to advocate correctly for our kids. So I have my own term for advocacy because it has worked for me over the 25 years that I've been advocating for my son who has autism. Okay. So this is the Touré definition of how to advocate correctly for my child. Okay. To speak on behalf of your child for the purpose of making reasonable accommodations for and adjustments according to their needs and limitations. See how that kind of fine tunes it a little bit? Okay? Because I think a lot of times people are a little confused about, what to say or how to say it whenever they are advocating for their kid. What do I mean? Let me tell you what I mean. All right? Let's talk about what advocating is not. Okay? The first thing it's not bullying people. Advocating is not bullying people to get what you want. In all fairness, special needs parents are frustrated whenever they attempt to get their needs met for their children and they're getting nowhere. Okay, so a lot of that I feel like is frustration, but it's not fair to bully people. So I'm in a couple of autism groups. And the other day, there was a woman in there, and she was so frustrated because apparently she booked a place, and in the package that she booked, they had included in the package there was laser tag or something. And she booked the package knowing that it had laser tag, but she just figured, well, she'll just ask them to switch it out for something else. So she booked it, she paid for it, and then she called them and said, "Can you switch it out for something else?" And they said, "No, we can't switch it out. You can buy another activity, but we can't switch this out." So now she's arguing with them and she's angry and they won't switch it out, but my daughter has special needs. She can't do laser tag. Well, but that you could have called them in advance before you paid for it. No refunds, all this stuff. She's upset. I can't believe, and this was her thing, I can't believe they won't make this accommodation for my daughter who has special needs. And it's like, well, you don't get to, this is their thing. You don't get to bully them into getting what you want. Does that make sense? It's unfortunate that they won't change it out for her. But you don't get to bully them. That's not advocacy. Do you see what I'm saying? They have their establishment. They have their rules. Just because your child has special needs doesn't mean that you get to bust in and change all their rules. That's not advocacy. That's bullying. You see what I'm saying? Being an advocate is also not thinking that everyone should do what you want just because, again, bullying. And it's not assuming that the world should understand. That was also part of, let me tell you, here in Atlanta, we have Legoland, okay? Now Hassan's thing is trains, but he likes Legos, okay? Now, when I went to Legoland's website, it's for ages like 3 through 12 or something like that. And you can go as long as you're taking your kid. It's for kids. But you can go as a family to take your kids, right? And I think that that's an activity that Hassan would love. Like he would love that. So I called them to ask them to make this accommodation. Hey, just so you know, my son is 25, but he has autism. Can I bring him even though he's 25? They said no. This is our age. And I was like, really? You can't make this accommodation for him? And they said no. The answer is no. I don't like it, but that's their rule. I don't need to go all over social media and bash that. I can't believe this company. I don't have to bully them. I did the thing. I went to them and I spoke on behalf of my child for the purpose of making an accommodation and an adjustment for his need according to his limitations. And they said no. I don't get to assume that they should understand, and I don't get to think that everyone should do what I want just because he has special needs. Depending on the establishment, they will make some adjustments. But I can't bully. There's a fine line between bullying and advocacy. But when you Google the definition, it says any action that speaks in favor, recommends, argues for a cause, supports or defends or pleads on behalf of others. So this Google definition will make you think, make you believe that it's okay to just argue with everybody and try to bully your way into getting what you want for your kid. There's a fine line. So as a parent, you'll be frustrated because you can't force everybody to do what you want for your kid. And so you're sitting here thinking, oh, it's just so hard. It's nobody will do what I want. And the reason why I'm even bringing up this topic is because there are parents out here who just think the world hates children with disabilities. And you think that you're just fighting an uphill battle and you're just not, nobody's being accommodating. That's not true. You might have to shift your understanding of how this works and stop being a bully. So is it that people are not accommodating, or are you just being a bully? Yeah. So rethink that, and it'll help with your stress and your frustration if you rethink what being an advocate really is. Because if you can sometimes you just have to accept that they said no. Go somewhere else. Do something else. If it's something you really want, if you really want your kid to go to Legoland, write a letter. But at the end of the day, Legoland has the right to say no. I don't get to bully everybody. Okay? Hope this helps. Do me a favor and like this video for me. Subscribe on YouTube, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.